Hi, folks. Nick Tuck, Fencing Guild. Before we get into it, I do need to pay a few bills. The Historical Fencing Guild is made possible by the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's IndieCD.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. By sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of our series of Western martial arts. Go from having never handled a sword to teaching the art to others, as well as books, all available through Amazon. Look up Amazon authors / Nicholas Tuckert. That's me. Importantly, Ronald, Rainbow, Norris, Cindy Cat, Steve Augusta, Don Dulas, Angelina, Joe, Angelina, Bachman, Chris, Richard, Cat, Rothermel are my Patreon members, and by signing on with them, I'm able to be able to afford to buy the gear to train new folks and make really. We are hitting, I believe this is broadcast of the year. So I think we need to wrap up the year a little bit here. The look, challenging year for the local Historical Fencing Guild due to financial difficulties and some pretty bad changes. Luck has been dubious, but I am still able to hold to help people. I'm still actively doing so. We were able to review some products. We were able to review a couple products, and I think we're at a point where getting portions of the gear has never been easier. You can hop on multiple sites, and most importantly, prices for certain things have come down quite a bit. Prices for raw materials has gone up. Challenging. Let me look at something real quick. And I just cancel all that. I don't need that. I need to go here. I will show you the I actually planned to discuss and review it, but Mandy really likes it. You see, for Christmas, I got my wife, amongst other things related to what she does, a spinning wheel, a little dog, and now I want to assess and review it. I held off assembling the piece until until it was assembled and it was in hand. But I can't sit with her. My lovely wife insists on keeping this thing part of the couch. And in fact, immediately following this broadcast, she's going to be going through drills with. Well, she'll be doing her drills while I do my drills to stay in shape, and she's going to try to get back in shape with it. It's very important. I think the overall height on this is about 6 feet assembled. And while it had lots of returns, I think it's because there's this one and version. I am finding it to be quite delightful because she truly enjoys using it. She went through and she because she is, of course, my my princess general, my queen, my light of my life. And she is a woman of many aspects. So I had to reflect that in her gifts this year. Um, so she's very pleased. My gifts, what I got this year will seem rather small, perhaps, but they're very detailed in that I got some new, different style of to help me facilitate doing armoring and a few other tool related. I'm very excited to get to use to hopefully be able to set up and do live streams of crafting on this channel. Will probably be coming back. Oops, hold on. You guys don't need to see my purchase history. There we go. I'll probably be making for assessment of what, based on what we do. I am just currently torn between ordering the rather lengthy. Basically, it's a nagamaki. It's a sheathed nagamaki, or the cap. These are very much. However, right lowest I think I've ever seen. The gin advertised. I'm just bringing this up right now to these especially, and oh my. Those are down to $25 with free delivery. That is functionally insane. You know, is that the? Hold on a second. 26. Ooh. Guys, I might be ordering some new swords to review, because if they're getting to that kind of price frame, got to order. Now, I will still be Fencing Guild's active practice. The 40-inch poly is the safest tool that we have. We'll be speaking on BSD quite a bit in the near future, as several students of my D&D group who are 18, and I can start doing basic drills and things with, and scheduling meetings with them in Fowler, or if they have transportation, which means we will be actively having students, and I am very for the spring. Winter plan, have to both get myself, lovely wife, in prop to be able to provide quality training, quality to outfit and equip young folks to pursue and Eastern martial arts for folks who are interested. The Historical Fencing Guild does not, because we need to be well past that in these fields. We need to have people willing to different things and make make the training the available. Dear Lord, did they mark this stuff down after Christmas? My katana, my polypropylene katana, which is right over there, is going for $19.99. Whoo! Whoo! I did not look. That is crazy. That is one of the nice trainers I. So now I have to peruse this. Sitting here, so there's a full katana and riggings. Sheath and belt. That's, I mean, if these in this level of price, great time to gobble up some truly lovely trainers and get them at a just utterly ridiculous price from some of these suppliers. I'm genuinely impressed. This going on because we need to frankly, I always need to outfit people. Will encourage, if you do train with, please get yourself some orange spray paint to make it clear to everyone the item you are using is not an actual live steel weapon, just as a safety clause. Wait a second. Calling that a sword an decision. I guess it is. I understand now. It was just a very interesting trainer. I see weirdness, I get on it, and I comment on it. I've got at least one student who has nothing but relative time on their hands, and I'm going to pick up more. So this is going to be for them to get, and if they have the means, they here, which will make it a lot easier on me. However, with some of the prices I don't feel quite so bad. Actually, I feel bad. So let's talk about what we can expect in 2026, barring, of course, natural flames, chaos, World War IIIs, whatever, Dragon Uprising. My plans are, first and foremost, I need to get that forge fired up, set up and fired up. I need to get dabbling with my welder so that I can make some of the custom metal projects that I need. Very soul. I have to retire most of my steel trainers. I just have to consider them retired. And steel, it is scary. Speak still do steel in my circle and see how safe, what to do and um, what we need. My own trainers for steel, possibly for sale. I need to redo my armor yet again. But most of all, I need to spend the next 2 to 3 months working, conditioning through the injuries I've acquired. That's going to make it hard, but I think it's going to be a necessary service. Be in shape so that I can a scheduled start of classes in Valor of some sort. I don't know at the park again, or if we want to start trying to do. But if we're going to keep what we're doing, we need to do it. I am going to watch my funds and try to get on with to see about or commissioning a different trainer, more in line with some of this newer stuff. It's very with prices. So I have to be prepared to be able to order things and make customary means. On a track, I am prepared to do on a next to no budget. And just world's going to rattle somewhere in between. And how that is determined will be, in part, the support I get from you guys, the interest I get, and the of the choose to be active students. Beyond on me, I need to start more than preserving my methodology. I'm more than preserving and creating access to some of the bits of armor and things. I need to the methodology to do so. I need to wake something up and I can get it all preserved and distributed. Event I have another health issue, my lifestyle takes the next step in limitation out there. The most important person can do is plant seeds for that they'll never be able to sit under. If I have any chance at all of this great effort of mine, helping others and possibly serving as a financial legacy for my son, I have to everything I do. And to do, I need to provide you guys with more active content and more focused content. So I need you all to reach out and tell me what you want from me. Those are the elements whenever, now or later, and let me know what on this line is needed. Now is the time to do it, because I want to take the upcoming months and really dial in. It's going to be very important for me to test and adjust my personal style, dial over the course of early 2026, that is. I want to finish and get out the 10-year update, the second edition of the Simple Sword. There'll be some changes, possibly content changes as I go through editing and layout changes. Right now, I'm trying to teach myself new programs to affect how I lay out my books so I can get more of those out. Looking back at 2025, I understand now just how hard certain situations hit me and how much it impaired my ability to do what I love. And I need to adjust that. That's my fault. That's my mea culpa. You guys deserve more from me, and you deserve better from me. I'm going to work on that. Once that's, I'm going to just have to fight the good fight, start scheduling regular practices again with the expectation of no one making it out. But the only way I'll know, I have to go back to my roots of if you build it, they will come. To the wonder who are watching me right now on Twitch and on Kick, I cannot stress enough how important that little eyeball number on the top of my screen is, because it reminds me and encourages me to keep doing what I'm doing when it's not easy. And 2 sets of very annoyingly debilitating injuries this year. I did not expect the dislocation to ravage my spring and summer. I did not expect the heart, and I did not expect the incident that caused my wrists to be sprained for a while to wrap up the fall for such things. But things are going to get better in any field, in any aspect of what we do, is to recognize it's to assess the problem, write a reasonable, achievable plan, and then do it. Because I think more than anything, 2026 is going to be a very make it or break. And that's both exciting and it's terrifying. The purchases I will be making I will be investing in a new mask because I need one. I will be adjusting my current cold weather gambeson and working on some hotter weather gambesons. And then it will be just getting the supplies to do leathercraft and or transferring that to plastics to make assorted lighter weight armor, because that's what I need. And after a few dozen, let's be honest, 25 years of teaching at folks and outfitting folks, I think it is time that I begin to prioritize my own needs as, let's be honest, an aging swordsman. And see where that takes me, where that lets me go, and what service I can provide from this. I think it's time. And should that prove untenable, then it's time for me to make other adjustments to facilitate my potential successors and be as much service as possible on the way out. But I don't think I'm there yet. I think I've got one good run at it, one good try to be of service. And that matters. So I'm going to work with this new set of students. If I can get Xander's behavior in check, I can work with him. And maybe by striving one last time, one big push in ways I can't really talk about, because if I talk about them, I kind of am less likely to pull them off. I'll be able to get a few more people out the door doing positive things and finding out who and what they are. Because there is nothing greater for me as an instructor. And honestly, it's been my goal from the very beginning. If I look back 20 years, 25 years, this manic goal to help people who would otherwise have been overlooked be able to chase the dream of becoming the main characters in their own lives. Seeing them get that power, that health, that perspective back, watching the light come on as someone's holding a sword and realizing that in that moment they are their hero. In that moment they are reshaping their potential, their lives. They're gaining better control of their bodies, gaining better control of their focus, gaining better control of their spirit, increasing their survivability, making it one notch closer that the very private never agains that people who have been through trauma, who've been abused and hurt, all carry. One more shot for them to have that. Of that. Nothing like it, guys. There's nothing in the world like it. So I got to chase that dream just a little bit farther. And I have to do it even if no one's watching. I have to do it even if no one comments, even if not a single one of my books gets bought. Because beyond the silly dream of royalties being a legacy for my son, beyond the striving, spiteful, look back, incredibly arrogant drive to help people who the world otherwise wasn't, to think that I, in my extreme arrogance, that I could be of that kind of use for people. It's a rare and it's a beautiful thing. It's a meaningful thing to, when you have the ability to be of service, especially to people who are downtrodden, especially to people who are lost and sad, who felt the burden of existence hit them. Who are afraid. To be able to not just mitigate some of that, but help them have the tools to mitigate a lot of that themselves. To realize they don't have to be who they were. I look back, whenever I do, I look all the way back. I look back to my days working with people and teaching people, all the way back to PNC. With, spiteful instructors trying to split me and my wife up, and all the fear that was going on and all the confusion, and the look on the people that I got to know, I got to see grow and evolve to become more powerful versions of themselves. And if I let myself look even a little bit further back, just a touch, as I am reminiscing, as I am wistfully looking into the past in hopes of using that as points to chart my path to the future, analyzing the pattern. Every good thing in my adult life that has come to me, every good thing that I do, has been because of an event or an association or a happenstance that was born from both my practice, my personal practice of swordsmanship, and my personal practice of instruction, of going out and learning from people better than me with curiosity and humility and perhaps a bit of naivety, perhaps a lot of naivety in some cases. To see this, to learn this and be this, so that later I can use that to help others find their path. The rare beauty of carving a life out with training swords in hand. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like finding a way to help folks that has helped you, to try to make so much better, in hopes that the people you help will then take their skills and succeed in their interests, in their missions, in their dreams. And then from that position, maybe they'll help others too. The ripples that we cast out, guys, how we affect each other's lives and how we affect ours, how we affect our own. They require a gentle discipline. They require a constant pursuit. They require learning a type of grace that does not absolve you of responsibility. To learn to forgive yourself of your failings, but hold yourself accountable to do better now. To learn to clear your mind of the distractions, of the discomfort, of the things that are keeping you from being you, and move forward. And that, more than anything, is what I hope I can leave woven into the pattern of the ripples I put out. That kindness matters. That reason and logic and perception matter. That the spirit is shaped by the mind and it's contained by the body. And the only way to really benefit in one aspect is to address all three. That there can be the same beauty and elegance and efficiency in movement as there is in craftsmanship. And that all of it that is worked after with sincerity has value and importance, even if it's only to the practitioner themselves. That still matters. Because the weakest among us, the most broken, the most battered, the most lost, they all deserve a chance. We all deserve a chance. We all deserve that hope, that light that you get from shaping your actions consciously in the world, in kindness, in mercy, but with unrelenting objectivity, unrelenting observation and process and study. I don't know who said it, but some very wise person said that there is no tragedy greater than the uncontemplated life. What I have found in a quarter century of teaching people to sword fight, as I am looking back And as I am given the opportunity to reminisce as a silly old man, perhaps, is the art of training how to sword fight, the art of defense, and the attached arts to it, the crafting of arms and armor, the learning of tactics, is a great and powerful gift, an earnest gift, because right now we live in a time of illusion. Everything can be edited, it can be tweaked, it could be shaped. The person you could be speaking with online may not be a person at all. The great illusion is being pushed and manipulated and sometimes I think a great many of us, especially those who have endured the damage of lies and deception and manipulation, we need truth. And the only way sometimes you can get truth is to grab a material, to grab an object by the hand. Grab a stick. This stick that I hold, this piece of PVC, this lowly little training device is real. As simple as it is an item I purchased. I cut down with tools in my own hand. I capped, I wrapped, and I use frequently as a training aid, as a teaching aid, as a device. When I stand in the sun or in the shop lights, there is no filter. There are no cheat codes. There is no deception. If I am training and I am earnest and I am fencing with someone, that I am honestly doing so, and they are honestly doing so. Even if it is the most playful dance you've ever seen, even if it's the silliest, it's real. I am really taking a sword simulating object, some type of stick, and trying to the best of my abilities to poke someone without hurting them with said object, knowing full well that that someone or someones, those someones, are attempting to do the same to the best of their ability. That is real. When I am sparring with someone, especially someone of a different style discipline, and we are stress testing, we are testing their technique versus my technique. In that moment, it is all real. There is no artifice of digital chicanery. And that means something. And it's important because as our world becomes more and more virtual, as this bizarre pattern of necessities becoming harder and harder to hold and luxuries easier and easier as we get lost in the noise and flashing lights of a million programs and television and VR and who knows what else, things I can't even imagine happening. We as human animals become drawn further and further towards the authentic, towards the tangible. Many times after practice, we'll have a fire. And we may roast food. We'll barbecue or grill out or whatever. That's real. The light coming off there is not any LCD screen. It's not any projection. It is the simple effect of heating wood to its and feeding that combustion until it's anymore. And it produces light that is warm and soft. It produces heat that can be hot enough to forge on or gentle enough to warm hands on a cold day. When your breath hangs around you like a fog. I will tell you something, my dear viewers. I will tell you a truth tonight. Those of you catch this and watch it later. There are a great many forces right now out there. Powers and principalities, eldritch corporations and pondersome politics that all conspire to have as little power, to have as little moral authority to change our lives, to affect our lives. It is convenient for the few that the many be in fear. It is convenient for the small. It is convenient for the large that the small be in fear. It is convenient for a that is self-serving to have its subjects be in fear. Whatever that is. This could be politics. This could be international woes. I don't with that. Don't. People should be in fear. The world is a one endingly challenging, but there is an inherent goodness to existence. If we allow simple acknowledgement of it. My job in what I do, my real purpose on this earth, the real reason that I go out, I instruct people, that I help people, that I give these totally off the cuff speeches, is to provide to the hurting, provide hope, to provide trust. It is to provide to the powerless and downtrodden, and not towards any negative gain. I am not ever expounding what we do, philosophical state, towards cruelty. Just, I want a world where each other and not be afraid of being harmed. And when they are threatened, they can have, they know. To shape the world as much as possible to prevent the need of that skill set. This part of this mission of mine that summed up in that I never want people to feel like, I never want to feel alone or powerless or hopeless. I never want people to need heroes to, because it is my fondest hope to a reasonable and merciful level and direction, you can carve out your own destiny. And if you are limited by funds and by situation, you can still strive to mitigate the damage around you. You can strive to make things better. And that takes an acknowledgement of value and personhood. It takes the understanding that you, my viewers, my readers, whoever comes across this, even the AI is trying to learn, that of cruelty and bigotry and vies, vying for dominance of one man, woman, or other over another man, woman, or other. It is my hope that through learning the discipline of martial arts, the perception of survival, right, being able tactically and strategically and situationally, it's not a word, it is now, assess your surroundings and make the decisions that will help you help others. I am not blind to this world. I am fully accustomed their far as the gnawing of their teeth. I just don't believe that everyone is doomed to be sheep to all. We need to help each other. And help each other as we wish people would. Because everyone has, and I mean everyone. We'll start, as many people can, arguing that point. I have spent many years working with people of various physical and mental challenges. I with people whose intellect will never be more than that. And when I say be an infant, whose will never develop in understanding or ability than that. Nature like that. Change his diapers. Yeah, even child had moments of kindness. A very raw, very small form of empathy from what they could perceive of the world. To degrees, it seems sometimes will always disposable people. And they will rend them disposable. And they will dispose of them, cast them aside. For reasons as silly, immeasurable, constant hunger for more. Cruelty based on the color of someone's skin or their faith or their lack of faith or how they project their faith or the specific rituals they use in their faith. It seems so overwhelming. It seems so. The end, I believe, even if I am speaking void, that through personal ability, kindness, through empathy, through humanity as a verb and as an adjective, we can make things better. I am not a wealthy man. I am not a famous man. I am not a charismatic man of any measure. I have no delusions that history will remember me as much of anything. But it is my solemn hope that just as I carve this goofy life out of us, of the ether around us, of the noise and madness and flashing lights, that in my journey, when I have found other individuals like myself at point, like myself now, are on the of society, of hope, sometimes of functioning, that and that after the light and the shine has been the cruelties of this world and the people who perpetrate them, that those who remain behind, those who may have given ever others with that they have to day to contain, to try to back into a society and the worlds that they've walked in. People who have survived abuse and gaslight, deception, to the point that they don't believe they could endure another day, or don't believe they should. To all the fellow members of the Semicolon Club, I believe that all these people can find hope, can find direction, can find peace. And whereas I would do it with money or great wisdom, benevolent acts of divine intervention, I am just a strange little man who hands them a sword that can't cut people, but might slay nightmares. And says, here, you can be more. With honor. Understand in the end, you not the sole point. You're in service to something that is up to you. Understand that there is goodness, there is hope, there is mercy. Who still have strength, who have perception, and they are willing to walk that path. Perhaps it is foolish, but every culture has fairy tales in one form or another. And they all teach very important lessons. But the greatest lesson the fairy tales teach is not that there are dragons, but that they. And if I can help somebody while laughing and making jokes, pick up the of their spirit and drive back little demons that haunt them, the dragons of fear, of feeling unworthy, to give them the tools that maybe they can take a few more steps than they would. Then it is a great, and it has value. Because, my friends, each and every person who watches this, no matter how far gone, no matter how lost, no matter how angry or sad or humbled or falsely aggrandized, everyone has value. And every person of value deserves to be safe. They deserve to be free. They deserve to live a life at least of simple, loving joy. I can say it can be without anger and sorrow and happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Life out that matters. There is a joy there that can't be taken away by even the biggest bully. So, as always, number takes over to 26. I'm going to work on trying to facilitate all those with my humble means, because I believe I am in service of something far greater than myself. And while the label of which is something people do, the nature is not. Because I want to help each and every person I work with get the tools to become the person they wish they had on their darkest day. The person who could come out when despair's been too much, when the pain of physical disability is too much, when the fear of being harassed and oppressed and beaten down is dark and the rain is coming down and the pillars are thundering and not a soul is in sight. I want you all to become, in one way or another, the you would have needed, and to be that for others. So, guys, thank you for a wonderful program. Thank you for listening to me prattle on. Thank you to all my Patreons, for my viewers way out there. I will try to review the Guandao. available through Amazon when I can get it away from well, or I will force her to review it on a camera somehow. There's new gear coming. There's new times coming. And regardless of current events and future events and past events, there's always an opportunity to train, to be better. And the best way that I know to train is to keep your eyes open, do your drills, to extend to you hope that you will to yourself and each other. Thank you once again for supporting your local sword master. I will be back next week for Never Mind the Furthermore and all those art time with Nick as part of Never Mind the Furthermore, the fun drawing time. I look forward to the day that I can convert drawing time. Be under the but I'll be back for that Wednesday, and I'll be back for the morning streams on Monday and Friday like usual. Well, we're back right here. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. January 2nd, 2026, for another episode of the Historical Fencing Guild's live stream. Thank you all for everything. I love you, and you should too. Toodles.